Today I would like to talk to you about the negative impact of food in the media. To research this, I looked at two articles. The first of them is called Food and Beverage Marketing to Youth by Andrew Cheney, Pamela Mejia, Laura Nixon, and Lori Dorfman. And this article looks at all the different kinds of media that children are exposed to and where they see advertisements for food. Including digital media in school and neighborhoods, on television, and on food packaging. In digital media, they are shown games often, and they don't interpret those as ads, and so they're more enticing. On things such as Facebook or gaming sites that can be accessed through phones and iPads. In schools and in neighborhoods, children are not with their parents, and public schools do work to provide healthy food for children to eat, but it still happens that children get unhealthy food, and because there's so many places to get unhealthy food around schools, like restaurants and places like Quick Trip or Speedway or something like that, children often end up getting unhealthy food and advertising from those places. On television, there is also a lot of ads directed at children, and these are, you can tell they're directed at children because they include toys and characters, which is supposed to be limited by the Children's Food and Beverage Advertising Initiative that tries to make it so that characters and toys don't influence what children want to buy in terms of food. However, the Children's Food and Beverage Advertising Initiative doesn't have that much influence over what can be on packaging, and so packaging for children's unhealthy food also often has characters, and it's placed in stores at children's eye level so that the characters make eye contact with the children, and then the children want to buy the food more. The second article that I looked at was called Consumers' Attitudes, Trust, and Willingness to Pay for Food Information by Giuseppe Nocella, Donato Romano, and Gianluca Stefani. And this article was looking at the different sources that adults trust for their food information. So they first looked at what kind of things adults find to be most important to know about food. And of the options they were given, which are agriculture, anti-aging, beauty, cuisine, food safety, health, lifestyle policy, processing industry, traditions, and trends, the majority of the participants chose food safety and health. Then they gave them a list of publishers to see which ones they would listen to the most, and the list was European Food Safety Authority, an independent publisher, the Association of the National Food Industry, a consumer association. Those were the four. Most participants trusted both private and public sources of information, and the closer a publisher is to the public sector, the more people trust it, is what the survey found out. Together, these articles show that people of all ages are constantly being bombarded with messages about food from the media. This can lead to obsessions or obsessive thoughts about it, the inability to stop thinking about food, which is really not good for you. Then it can also lead to personal conflicts between what foods you want to eat, whether you want to eat healthy foods or unhealthy foods, and then that can become labeling foods as good or bad, and that can lead to a disordered relationship with food. And of course, not all of this happens to everyone, but I definitely believe it contributes to the amount of disordered eating there is in the United States with how much advertising there is surrounding food in all of our faces all the time. So overall, I just think that this huge amount of advertising food is bad for our wellness.